Hello to all you beautiful people out there, Regnilla over here bringing you another multiplayer version of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. In today's episode, we are going to be doing kind of, I want to call it a heart-pounding quest. It's called Diamond Dust. So this one involves a Tigrex and a Rajang. Thankfully, you don't fight them both at the same time, because if that was the case, this would be a very scary quest. But if you're doing this in the group, then you might still have to worry just a little bit, because you have to worry about your comrades, and in this case, against two very powerful monsters with really broken hitboxes, you gotta kind of worry about your team just a little bit. Now, I don't think I ever touched base on this, but you might have noticed I was in an odd area. It didn't look like I was anywhere directly on the map. It looked like I was in, well, you might want to call it a secret area, which that is in fact what it is. So when you reach high rank in Monster Hunter Quests, you have a chance to be dropped into a secret area that has all sorts of goodies, some of them even more valuable than your average everyday materials that you might be able to find out in the world. However, in this game anyway, you have to have pickaxes and bug nets on hand in order to really reap the rewards, and unfortunately I don't usually carry those with me. So aside from that, here's Tigrex, and he's looking mighty scary, and we have 4 guys, including myself, on this hunt. So we kind of went a little bit nuts with the traps. And this can be kind of a problem, since if you have a trap that's up next to someone else's trap and a monster goes on one of those traps, odds are both traps are going to be triggered, and so that could be kind of annoying. And we're not exactly coordinated here, but I'm keeping an eye on my teammates, especially Aurora, who is a bow user, and that classifies as a gunner, so that person is using gunner armor. As a result, Aurora is going to take a lot more damage than my other teammates if they're actually hit, so I'm making sure to keep an eye and getting my life powders on standby just in case. But another thing I'm trying to do is I'm also keeping an eye on the Tigrex. Since he is in rage mode, he's going to hit a lot harder, and I want to make sure that he is stunned as much as possible. So as soon as he recovers from his stun status, he is probably going to be vulnerable for a split moment for another flash bomb. But of course, it's really difficult, or it's really dangerous to try to assume anything with a Tigrex. It's yeah, he hits like a truck. But the Rajang afterward is even worse. So here is our Rajang, and oh man, this with the Tigrex, it was kind of okay to go a little bit nuts on the face, because we were able to get him stunned for a good deal of time, and we had methods to either keep him stunned, or at the very least bank on the fact that he liked to taunt a lot, and we could just take pot shots at his head. The Rajang, on the other hand, if he's stunned, he's gonna still be moving around. He's kind of like a pseudo wyvern, so like a Nargacuga in that sense. Now, granted, the Tigrex is a pseudo wyvern as well, but he operates just a little bit differently. And well, Hipper was he was just wrecked, and he's gonna say it off in chat. You know, that's great. Unfortunately, with this program that I'm using in order to play multiplayer, I don't have a means of turning off the chat. I have a way of unsubscribing to certain channels, and that helps for like world chat, which a bunch of people are talking in. However, with just party chats, if someone says something in party chat, a dialogue bot still pops up, even if I unsubscribe from that channel, and it might not even update. So that's just sort of there to stay, unfortunately. But if you want to check out this program, I will leave links to both the program itself as well as the program's Facebook page in the description below. And who knows, maybe you'll run into me when I'm off recording. I usually mention in the world chat whenever I am doing a recording, so you might just bump into me one day. But granted, just to keep in mind that this is still on emulator, so if you're trying to use this program using a PSP, yeah, it's not gonna work. It's no bueno that way. But going back to Rajang over here, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the first video that I did with this guy, because, well, screw the Rajang, and the fact that he jumps into me with my back turned is one such reason why. The Rajang has a roar that can send you flying even if you have high-grade earplugs, like I do. So I can avoid the powerful wrath of the Tigrex roar. Just can't with the Rajang. It doesn't do any damage, but it still sends me flying. And like geniuses, we did not paintball the monster, so we're just kind of taking guesses as where this guy's going. Thankfully, you know, I was able to find him. And signaling, that's also a great thing that you could do in multiplayer games in Monster Hunter. When you signal, it involves pressing a button when you're on your menu screen, and that just lets everyone know where you're at, and it's a great way to identify where a large monster is in case you have not gone and paintballed it yet. So in this case, you know, it helps my teammates find out where the Rajang is, as opposed to just kind of searching around. Or the other way that your team can find out where the monster is if they don't signal is look at the names and the icons that are next to the names. So if you look on the right of each of our names, 3 of us has the monster eye icon. So in case you can't find a monster and your teammate is not signaling, take a look there and you might be able to see an eye icon, and that way it will give you an idea as to where you need to go. Now, this might be a program thing or lag, but if you take a look at Aurora's just standing still doing jack shit, and I still don't understand why. I'm like kind of freaking out, mostly due to the fact that it's freaking Rajang out in the field here. And so Aurora's just a sitting duck. I don't know what they're doing. And oh, okay, there she goes. They decided to go ahead and actually get their head back in the game. Mikan over here, don't know what he's doing. He's I think he found a flower and he's just staring at it. You never know. So whenever you're in a team, you got to do your part, even if it's just a little bit. And you don't want to be AFK when your team needs you. And so, especially when your team starts getting into a bad place, and let's say your other teammates lose either their flash bombs or their life powders, so they're used. And if you're AFK and you still have those, it's kind of your responsibility to contribute by helping out your team with flash bombs and life powders. So don't be that guy, you know. If you have to step away, make sure you step away really quickly, because you never know when your team's going to be facing off against a hulking ape that shoots electricity like he's Son Goku. So, you know, don't leave your team hanging. But that was Diamond Dust. Man, this is a quest I do not recommend soloing. I imagine it is possible since it's still an epic hunting quest, and it's only one monster at a time. But still, it is a dangerous one, and I strongly recommend doing it in a group. But that's going to do it for me and this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in any of my other content, feel free to hit on one of those annotations featured at the end of this video, and I will see you all again in the next video. Take care, people.